Let's look at Mr. Trump. He does very little, admittedly, to earn our sympathy. Currently, he's in the news for his daily work schedule. An American president's job will not be envied by many, but you might change your mind if you look at what Trump covers in one work day. Take a look.
Being the president of the most powerful country in the world is certainly not a 9-to-5 job. But US President Donald Trump is taking it to the other extreme. According to a report by Axios, Trump's working schedule is shrinking by the day. His official day doesn't start before 11 a.m. He's holding far fewer meetings and is demanding more executive time, which is a fancy way of saying me time with lots of TV, Twitter and time alone in the residence. Trump's schedule, according to Axios, differs from schedules the White House sends to the media every day. According to the report, the president has designated executive time from 8 to 11 a.m. in the Oval Office, but actually spends these hours in his residence watching television, making phone calls and tweeting. At around 11 a.m., the president emerges for his first meeting of the day, which is typically an intelligence briefing. During the day, he has a couple of meetings with several breaks of executive time interspersed. The unscheduled executive time is spent in the dining room next to the Oval Office, where the president watches cable news. He returns to the residence at about 6 p.m. In case you were confused by the president's schedule, Axios has tried to put it into context. On Tuesday, for instance, Trump had his first meeting of the day with Chief of Staff John Kelly at 11 a.m. He then had executive time for an hour, followed by an hour-long lunch. Then it was another 1 hour 15 minutes of executive time, followed by a 45-minute meeting with National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. Then another 15 minutes of executive time before Trump took his last meeting of the day at 3:45 in the afternoon. He then ended his official day at 4:15 p.m. According to the report, the president's schedule has changed over his 1 year in office. At the beginning of his tenure, he would hold breakfast meetings, but he has since pushed back the start of his day. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders responded to the Axios report with a statement defending the president's work ethic, saying, and I quote, "The time in the morning is a mix of residence time and Oval Office time, but he always has calls with staff, Hill members, cabinet members and foreign leaders during this time. The president is one of the hardest workers I've ever seen and puts in long hours and long days nearly every day of the week all year long. It has been noted by reporters many times that they wish he would slow down because they sometimes have trouble keeping up with him." Unquote. To be fair to Trump, other American presidents in the past were known to have erratic schedules. Barack Obama began his day around 9 or 10 in the morning and always made it back to the residence to have dinner with his family. In contrast, George W. Bush tended to get to the Oval Office by 6:45 in the morning. Bill Clinton was known to make calls in the middle of the night. Ronald Reagan worked shorter days towards the end of his presidency. But unlike these past presidents, Trump is facing questions about his mental health and his capacity to remain in office following a bombshell book on his administration. This latest report only causes more damage to his carefully crafted image. Bureau Report, WION.